What causes a mediation to fail? Mediation is a wonderful tool for resolving your issues in a divorce, if it can be done successfully. It saves time and money and goes a long way toward reducing stress and aggravation for everyone involved. The good news is that in the majority of cases, mediation works. I've represented countless clients who have gone through the divorce process and who have been able to work through their issues and reach results that everyone feels happy with. There are times, though, when for any number of reasons it simply doesn't work out that way. One question I'm often asked is, why? Why do some mediations succeed while others fail? It's a good question, and the answer is going to be slightly different for each couple. There are a few reasons that commonly cause mediations to fail that are worth discussing, though. Let's take a look at those together. One of the most common reasons for a failed mediation is simply trying to mediate too soon. While it's admirable to want to get your issues resolved effectively and efficiently, the simple truth of the matter is that the decision to divorce typically isn't made in times of emotional peace and harmony. Often, shortly after a couple decides to begin the divorce process, emotions are volatile and stress levels are high. Trying to enter into a mediation too early, before you've both had time to cool down, is often a recipe for failure from the start. Give yourselves at least 2 or 3 months to calm down and enter into the mediation with a clear mind and a cool head. Another reason for failed mediation goes hand in hand with the first, and I can sum it up with one word: anger. In life, generally, allowing anger to guide your actions typically causes most of us to make decisions we later regret. It's no different with respect to mediation. When someone goes into mediation angry at their spouse and determined to get everything they want and punish their spouse for the divorce, it almost never goes well, and a resolution is rarely reached. Behaving reasonably and being willing to cooperate is almost always necessary for success. In other cases, it isn't anger that causes the mediation to fail as much as it is irrationality. Sometimes one spouse will simply get stuck on 1 or 2 details of an issue that may seem fairly minor in light of the big picture, and allow this to ruin the chances of resolving all the other issues. Try not to lose sight of the ultimate goal: settling your divorce as smoothly and effectively as possible. Even though it may be difficult, be willing to let go of issues and small details if you have to. It's often not worth the extra stress and expense that battling it out will cause in the long run. There are 2 other reasons I often see mediations fail. Sometimes they fail because there's a significant power imbalance in the relationship. This often happens in cases where domestic violence is unfortunately present. Often, the spouse who is the victim of abuse feels unable and unempowered to assert themselves. The abusive spouse may also attempt to still be manipulative and threatening toward the other spouse. Often, these dynamics mean that mediation simply isn't the best idea. Lastly, I've seen many mediations that have failed because one spouse is simply unreasonable about the demands he or she is making. I've seen cases where one spouse asks for an amount of alimony or support that's simply far too unreasonable to even allow the parties to work toward meeting in the middle. When that approach is taken, everyone ultimately loses. While there are plenty of reasons why mediation might not work, the good news is that in the huge majority of cases, it does work, and the parties are able to reach an agreement that everyone feels satisfied with about the issues that matter most. It's well worth talking with your attorney about whether mediation might be the right option for you.